Alright, what's going on YouTube? Cloverbell's here back with another Series 10 team building video, and today we're looking at Lugia. we're getting close to the end of Series 10 teams, and we still have the Kyurems to do, we have Rayquaza to do, but hey, might as well start with Lugia of the four, right? If you notice, my voice sounds a little different and my camera looks a little different. That's because I upgraded both of them. We have a new Logitech headset mic, and we've got a new 4K cam. My previous one was like a 1080p camera, but now we've upgraded and we have a 4K cam, so it looks great. I think my voice sounds much more clear, and the lighting is much better also, because hey, we got a better camera. But anyway, enough about my peripherals. Let's just go straight into the team building here. So Lugia is really hard to use, right? Just mainly because of this lack of damage, right? This 90 base damage is very bad in terms of restricted, right? Because everything else is just doing so much more damage than Lugia. And the positives are you got all this bulk, like 106 HP, 130 base defense, 154 base special defense. So Lugia is very bulky, and you can get into games where if you have to stall them and just click recover over time, you could potentially win those games, because remember, you have Multiscale here, and you can even use pressure too to try and pressure stall. So there are ways to make Lugia viable. All right, would I bring it to like a tournament? Probably not. But hey, if Lugia is your favorite mon, then allow me to try and build a viable team around it, right? So the thing you also have to consider with Lugia is you are very weak to Calyrex Shadow Rider, so you need to very much patch up that weakness. Incineroar is also another thing with a dark type move. A lot of things are running dark type moves for Calyrex Shadow, right? So like Entei's running a dark move, Suicunes have Snarl, the Serena's got payback, Landorus got payback. So things that are made to counter Calyrex Shadow are naturally going to counter you, right? So you need ways to deal with those options, right? Threats, I should say. Alright, so what I'm thinking now is, how can I get Lugia's damage output even more, but then at the same time, how do I take more advantage of its bulk and still counter everything else in the meta, or at least the common threats? So what I'm also thinking now is probably I'm probably gonna go with Suicune here, and that also probably means Entei, and that also probably means Rillaboom. Okay, so at the very least, I can have this Fire Water Grass Core, which is good into a lot of things, right? So Suicune, of course, and Entei, they both have inner focus, so they're not going to care about Incineroar. Alright, and then Rillaboom, we need something for Kyogre, right? Because, at the end of the day, Lugia can, in a way, deal with Kyogre because of that special defense bulk, but I still need something that puts on more pressure than Lugia, right? Because when teams look at Lugia, they'll say, psh, what is that thing going to do? It might take a few hits, but what kind of damage is it going to deal? Alright, so then from here, now that I have 4 of what I want, I do like Landorus, right? Because, we don't have Intimidate because we opt for Entei over Incineroar, but I think Landorus works well here just because you have the option to Earthquake or even Brutal Swing next to your Lugia, right? So, and I think both of those moves are viable, but I think we're going to go with the Earthquake one instead. I don't think we'll go with the Brutal Swing. So there's that. And then from here, to close it out, I think what's also really good with Lugia is Stack Attacka, especially for pivoting and speed control. Secret is that with this team, this is more of a team built for Stack Attacka than it is Lugia, if you think about it. And that's kind of how you have to go about it with some of these lower restricteds. Like Stack Attacka is your restricted, right? Because of this Beast Boost pressure. And, Stack Attacka doesn't want to take a ground move or a fighting move like a close combat from an Urshifu or a Mienshao, but that's where you use a brain cell and you swap in your Lugia, because Lugia is a flying type, doesn't take ground type damage and takes fighting type damage very, very well. Like, you're a psychic type and a flying type, so you're gonna resist that extremely well. So I feel like Lugia is a good pivot for Stack Attacker. Alright, so there's that. So yeah, this is the 6. So we have fast mode with Tailwind and we have slow mode with Stack Attacker, because none of these things are going to be max speed anyway. Alright, our job is to be bulky, alright, and deal damage with that bulk. Now, I would try and fit a Grimmsnarl in here, but I think this 6 right now is fine. I'll show you a second version of this team where I opt for 2 other options, but hey, this is actually pretty good. So now let's take a look at our EV spreads, our movesets, and our items. Okay, so now again we're gonna look at some of our moves and items here and some of our EV calcs. So of course we're gonna go with Aeroblast. Strong flying type move, 95% accurate but has a high crit ratio. Good against Rillabooms, good against Mienshaos, good against Urshifus if you have the speed control over it, good against Serena, Amoonguss. So there is use for Aeroblast, right? It's pretty good. Next is going to be Earth Power. Okay, so good against like Incineroars, Enteis, Stack Attackers. Alright, so not any other fire type that is weak to a ground type move. So very much Earth Power is needed. Calm Mind is your next move of choice, because this is how you're gonna increase your damage output and stay bulky. And then finally Recover. So this is your stall mechanic should you need it. And again, like, because of Multiscale, you can recover, get back to full HP, and then you have that luxury of being able to take a hit comfortably, right? So this is our moveset here. Our item is going to be Weakness Policy. Okay, so this is how we're going to deal big damage, because I feel like, in my opinion, because there's no Dynamax, even a super effective move is not going to do a whole lot to Lugia, especially if you have Multiscale. And in order to beat it, they have to hit you with the super effective move, because without it, you win the game. You can just click Calm Minds, click Recovers, and then eventually click an attacking move, and you win. So having this Weakness Policy, even though we don't really have a self proc, is gonna help Lugia's damage a lot. So in terms of EV spread, now I have the luxury of having this base 110 speed, which is good because you're always gonna outspeed a lot of big threats if you go the timid route. But for me, because I want damage output on this Lugia, I'm gonna go modest here, and I'm just gonna have enough speed where I outspeed Kyogre, right? And even though they have Tailwind, we have Tailwind too. So if we're both having +2 Tailwinds, we're gonna win because we have a +1 speed here. Now, are there other threats that I wanna outspeed? Yeah, but Kyogre is the main one. Like, I'm not really afraid of Nihilego with this Spadef. I think I'm fine, and then we can just smash that thing with an Earth Power. Okay. So that's fine there. And then from here, I actually just want to max my special attack, like literally max it. All right, and then just add a couple points in defense and Spadef, and then the rest in HP. And I'll show you some damage calcs with this spread. It's actually very, very convenient how this all aligns with what we're calculating for. So stay tuned for the damage calc part of the video. But let's just do the EVs first. Suicune, we know how this one goes. All right, we're gonna go with Tailwind here. We're going to go with Scald for our water move, Ice Beam for those annoying Lando eyes, and then finally we're going to go with Snarl just because you don't want to have to deal with Calyrex Shadow Rider. But in terms of the item that we want here, Citrus does look good, but Amoonguss can be annoying, especially if there's Trick Room up. So I think Safety Goggles is the safer bet here in terms of the item choice. And then for here, we're going to use the same EV spread that we've always liked to use. So we're going to go Calm. Alright. So up to the second bump here. Right here. 116. We're going to go 114 speed. That's more than enough. Alright. 92 defense. And then the rest in HP. And again, if you're wondering what this spread does, if you're new to the channel, this allows you to take the Rillaboom Grassy Glide, Adamant 252, Miracle Seed, and it allows you to take a 252 Regieleki Thunderbolt, even modest Regieleki Thunderbolt, you can live it. Okay, so I really like this Suicune spread. Entei, we're gonna go with the Violent spread here because we're gonna go Assault Vest on the Rillaboom. So Entei, we're gonna go with Life Orb. And if you remember, if you watched our Zamazenta team building video, we used Life Orb Entei with Howl Zamazenta, and that was amazing. So we're gonna go back to that here. Alright, so of course we're gonna go Adamant. We're gonna go with this much, and I don't know why this is 0 IVs in attack, but then 196 is all we need. We're gonna go to the third bump here, and then our speed, we just need 150 just to outspeed speed creepers that are at 149 for Calyrex Shadow. Okay, and then the rest we're just gonna go bulk. Okay, moves Sacred Fire. Now with the Life Orb, we can pretty much almost guarantee one-shot those Zacians, right? Zacians. Okay, then Extreme Speed. Not a lot of things want to take a Life Orb Extreme Speed from an Entei. Crunch for that annoying Calyrex Shadow matchup. Again, I can't stress that one enough. And Protect is always necessary when we have this Life Orb item. Okay, so there's our Entei spread. Rillaboom, same Rillaboom that we're going to go with, except we're going to up our speed a little bit. Now we're going to go 117 because some of you guys like to speed creep me. Alright, so we're going to go there. And then from here, we're just going to go the third bump once again. And then optimize my HP for the grassy terrain. And here's my Rillaboom spread. Okay, so fast fake out, especially very good in Trick Room because your U-turn goes last instead of theirs. So Grassy Glide, fake out, knock off again, another dark move, and U-turn. Now you might argue, you might argue, well, you got 3 dark moves, right? Do you really need the knockoff on the Rillaboom? I mean, you technically yes, it's still good. If you want, you can go Woodhammer here, or you can even go my preferred choice, which is the drum beating for the speed control option. So either one work, and that'll also help Entei a little bit too, right? So 2 forms of fast mode speed control, right? And then you have Trick Room. So you can do it like this, but you know, I feel like having that dark move option is also very, very valuable. But maybe 3 might be overkill. So if you prefer the drum beating, hey, I'll just leave it on there for the sake of the video. Okay, now from here, we're gonna go with Earthquake. Okay, U-turn, of course. Actually, now that I think about it, do I need to click Earthquake on Lugia? I feel like having that special option is a little bit better because right now we're very physical. Even though Suicune is special attacking, I feel like we can use one more. So let's go Earth Power instead here. I think that's better. Then we'll go with Stone Edge and then Protect as our last move here. And then we're gonna go Rocky Helmet. Okay, this is gonna be a bulky Landorus. All right, so what I mean by that is we're gonna go bold. Okay, because we're trying to 3-hit live the Zacian, right? So I feel like having the bold Lando is very, very valuable. And how we're gonna do this? So what we're gonna do is actually just go to 113 speed, just so that we're 1 speed slower than our Suicune. So that way our Suicune can go first with the Tailwind, and then from here we can just go 212 for the HP, and then 236 with the defense. So we're gonna go to the third bump here. I think we're getting close to it. Yeah, right here, 236 in the bump, and then the rest you only have 48 points. So we'll just add like 28 in the special attack department, and then we'll get that magical 103 prime number in the SPDEF. All right, shout out to Joe UX9 for that old rule. All right, but then anyway, this is our Lando spread. With the Intimidate, we can live a lot of Zacian hits, and I'll show you in the calcs. And Stack Attacka. Actually, hold on. Now that I think about it even more, no. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Citrus Berry here. Alright, and then this one is gonna go safety goggles. Yeah, I totally forgot about the stack attack. Yeah, we're gonna need this because Xerneas is annoying with their redirection support, like Amoonguss and Volcarona with their rage powders. So if we can just bypass that and just go straight for the Xerneas, that helps a lot. So gyro ball. Okay. Then rock, slide, body press, and trick room. Okay. Oh. Yep. Okay. And then our EV spread is going to be the same ones that we've always used. So we're going to go Brave. We're going to go 236. No, 228 I should say. And then the rest in the Spadef department. So this way we can live that Torkoal Eruption should it come up. Even a Regieleki Thunderbolt is also annoying. But yeah. So now that we've got the EVs and the items, now let me just show some of the calcs. And then I'll show you the second version of the team that I've come up with. Alright, so now let's take a look at some of the damage calcs here for Lugia. So I've got the set imported, but now what we're gonna take a look at now is how well does this thing take the Astral Barrage stuff from the Calyrex Shadow Rider. So if we're full health, obviously with Multiscale, we take it well, and then he procs our weakness policy, and then we just smash it from there. So if they're bold enough to just click that, and then if we lead with Suicune, we get our Tailwind off, and if we have the weakness policy proc, you have a very good chance to KO it with an Aeroblast. And if they're Life Orb, they're taking Life Orb chip anyway, right? So if they're at 167, alright, then you can just honestly just smash this thing, and you have a very, very strong chance to KO it, right? So if they decide to double up on the Lugia, and then try and click Astral Barrage, if you're afraid of that, like if they click a CC or a Astral Barrage, like with the Mienshao lead, then your Suicune wins the game with the Snarl, right? Because then you can bring your Entei in the back, and now everything's in range of it. So there's that. You could even like protect your Lugia turn 1 and then go for the Tailwind, and then just go ham, because Suicune actually lives a double up also. So if I'll even show you that calc in a second. But hey, if we take like a fake out, like let's say we're at 190 out of 200. If we take a fake out, we actually have a pretty good chance to live the Astral Barrage, believe it or not. That just shows how bulky Lugia is with this Spadef number, because like we're at 95%. Astral Barrage high rolls for 97, so we've got a solid chance even with the Life Orb. And remember, not all Calyrex riders are Life Orb anymore. A lot of them are going for Focus Sash because they're afraid of the mirror. So if they're Focus Sash, okay, let me just show you that one, then of course you're fine. I mean, you're living, and then they proc your policy, good night, the game's over. So there's that. So now let's take a look at Urshifu here. So Urshifu Dark, okay, I think I have black glasses on here, but nobody's running that set. So if you're at full health, of course you're gonna take that fine. If you take a fake out, you actually also yet again have a chance to live a Wicked Blow. Like, look at this, 84 to 99%. I mean, yeah, I took some chip, but hey, look, man, if you're not Sash, that Urshifu's gone, because I have an Aeroblast coming in. So you've got a good chance here to live that Wicked Blow. So again, this is only assuming if we took like minimal chip, right? But if we have our full health, then we're fine. Okay, let's look at Regieleki. Okay, let's take a look at the Thunderbolt. Let's go Timid, Transistor. Alright, and let's go Thunderbolt. We should take it fine. Regieleki is good, but not like super hard hitting. Yeah, see, look, even without our Multiscale, we take a Thunderbolt very, very well. So Lugia's bulk is crazy. And then if you give me my policy, and if I have Tailwind up, that Earth Power can just kill a Regieleki 2 times over. So I think it's kind of cool. Alright, what about like Kyogre Water Spouts? Let's take a look at that. I'm curious. So Kyogre Water Spouts. So special attack here. Let's go Modest. Alright, let's put it in the rain and then Mystic Water, right? So, Water Spout, Scalds, and how about, let's say Thunder. So, yet again, even if Multiscale is broken, all of these moves are not going to kill it. And if I have like Calm Mind boost, like let's say a +1, you're living everything. I mean, very, very well. And then if you have that Weakness Policy boost, you could do big damage also. I mean, actually, this is not amazing damage because Kyogre is just what Kyogre does. Let me just put 4/4 here. Alright, I mean, but again, the goal is to last the Kyogre game. But as long as you know you don't die, you're fine. You always have Rillaboom in the back and even Suicune. So there's that. So now that we know some of the basic stuff, okay, now let's take a look at the other damage calcs for the other Mons. Alright, so now this is looking at Suicune. Again, I've shown the Suicune one quite a few times, but this is just in case we have some that are new to the channel. So here's our Suicune set. Here's a Regieleki Thunderbolt. Again, not killing our Suicune here. You could even change this to Modest and you're living fine. You can even go Transistor, but Magnet. Again, Magnet is not going to make a difference here. You're still living. Okay, Modest, Magnet, sure, but again, the only ones that are living this are the super bulky ones that are in Tailwind, right? So you're still fine, because if I go Timid, I mean, Timid Magnet is all I really care about. That's the common one. And then for Rillaboom, alright, let's just go with the custom one. Let's just go 252. And then let's just go Miracle Seed. Alright, so Miracle Seed, again, 252 Adamant, Miracle Seed, Rillaboom. You live that Grassy Glide every day of the week. So Suicune, you're fine. You're chilling. Okay, now let's look at our Entei calc. So let's go here. Let's just import this. Alright, right here. Import. Okay, so wait, what did I do? Oh yeah. Alright, so our Entei calc. So now let's take a look at Zacian's. Alright, let's just look at my own Zacian, which is a little bit bulky. Again, Sacred Fire is going to do a lot of damage and could potentially KO it. And if there's any Zacian there that's going 252 HP with a little tiny bit of bulk, Sacred Fire, once again, a very good chance to finish off that Zacian. And, you know, if we get the burn, then the burn damage will finish it off. So if we even like faked it out or even like hit it with a Grassy Glide once, Sacred Fire just does the job. And then next time we could even go for an Extreme Speed, if anything, if we need to get one more KO on it. So I really like that Entei spread. Alright, what about like a Stack Attacker? So a Stack Attacker, again, Sacred Fire doing a lot, of course, to a Stack Attacker. But again, we don't want to take like that Rock Slide. But hey, if we can burn it, that's pretty good for me. What about Calyrex? I don't think I need to show this one, right? But just in case, if I do, all right, 4 times weakness. Yeah, look at that. That's just big damage. How much do you do to Groudon in the sun? Let's go with a custom set here. Groudon in the sun. So Sacred Fire is going to do a lot if they have a solid amount of bulk in their HP and whatnot. So I kind of like that. And then what about like Calyrex Ice? Calyrex Ice Rider. So if they're running some stuff like this, yeah, look, Sacred Fire does so much damage to this thing. Even if they're going with the bulky bar set, I mean, that still doesn't affect the defense calc. So I really like how this Entei functions. So yeah, definitely Life Orb Entei is gonna hurt, and I like it in Series 11, technically Series 8 now. So stay tuned for some team building videos towards the end of the month for that. But yeah, Entei looking very solid. So now let's take a look at what do we got left? The Lando spread. Okay, yeah, the Lando spread is the important one. All right, and that'll be the last one I look at because the Rillaboom is just made to live the Hurricane Tornadus and always KO Kyogre that is not bulky. Alright, so let's look at Lando. Where are we? Right here. So, Landorus. Zacian. Alright. Okay, so let's say this Lando spread here. So, Behemoth Blade right off the bat won't KO you. This is even without an Intimidate, right? If I do Intimidate it, okay, a very nice chance for the 2-hit KO. Like, that he has to high roll it. So, this is only if they're, like, very, very hard-hitting Adamant Zacian, right? Let's say if they were first bump Zacian, then that is, like, a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So, it's pretty cool. And if they're the weak Zacian, which is the jolly one, if they're the weak Zacian, alright, the 252 attack, 252 speed Zacian. I don't know too many that are running this one anymore. Actually, it's still the most common Zacian if I looked on Pikalytics. What's wrong with you people? Why are you doing this? Alright, so that's not gonna kill, and then if you intimidate it once, again, you're chilling here. So, I don't know. Like, this Lando spread is pretty good. And then look how much Earth Power is doing. You can just smash it. So, I like this Lando spread. And you can always pivot in, like, if they're trying to close combat, that stack attacker. So, I mean, you're just chilling with this Lando. And then the Stone Edge, obviously, is for the Volcarona. So, you know, because we need a rock move to hit that thing. So, I kind of like it. Alright, so now let's take a look at some practice videos, but first, not practice videos, practice battles, but first, let's go into the second version of the team. Okay, so now we're looking at the second version of the squad, and you can see that a couple of the mons are still the same here. What we're going to do here is we're going to add the Incineroar, and we're going to put leftovers on this Suicune, and we're going to put Citrus Berry on the Incineroar. Standard set, Flare, wow, Flare Blitz, alright, Fake Out, Parting Shot, and Throat Chop, okay. And then, for our moveset, we're gonna go Careful Nature. I still think this is the best Incineroar. Like, I understand the Impish with the Mienshao, but I just like Careful. And then, I always like to go 95 Incineroar because I like to win 95% of the speed tiers with the faster Fake Out. A little bit of attack, and then how much HP am I going to put? Just much, and then 92 in defense. So we're always going to live the Zacian close combat after a -1 intimidate drop. So here's this, and then we still need something, right, for like a Landorus, because you know Lugia is weak to an electric type, and stack attack always appreciates another flying pivot. So if we have the other Lando is also pretty good in this one, and it gives us a stronger special attacker. So Life Orb Lando, but because we have Tailwind, we're gonna go slower but harder hitting. We're gonna go modest, okay, and we're gonna EV it so that way we live a Behemoth Blade Zacian, okay. So 196 is gonna be our special attack investment. We're only going to go to 129 speed. I think that's more than enough. We outspeed Gothitelle at the very least. So I think that's pretty good. And then from here, the direction that I want to go is probably in the HP and defense department. So I've already calculated this before. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with 60 HP. Alright. And then 180 defense, 188. Or is it 180? I believe it was 180, and then 12 in the SPDEF department. And again, this is what's gonna help us live that Behemoth Blade. So yeah, let's just show it in the damage calculator. I think it was actually like this. Hold on, no, 68. Yeah, there it is. That's what I wanted. Okay, so watch as I upload this. Oh wait, let's put some attack on this thing first. Sorry guys. Earth Power. I haven't had my coffee yet. Earth Power. I like Sludge Bomb here. Alright, Annoying Willowbooms. Substitute is very good. And Protect. Alright, again, Substitute to stall out those Tailwind Trick Room turns. So, very important on Lando. So I really like this set. So now let's take a look at some calcs with this Landorus. Okay, so let's go 173 obviously. So Landorus is here, and then first of all, how do you do against like bulky Zacians? Let's take a look. So custom set. Oh wait, I have to do it like this. Alright, so that Earth Power is just murdering it, and then if they're doing something like this, where they go 252, 4, that's not gonna help him, and even with a little bit of defense, like because they're adamant, again, that doesn't help them. So sorry to all those Zacian bulky 252 spreads. Now, in terms of Behemoth Blade, look at this. Even if they're adamant 164, like very, very strong adamant Zacian, we take that Behemoth Blade. And if they're first bump, alright, even more so we take that. Alright, Zacian does not kill this Lando, and we kill it right back. That is the point of this Lando. I really like this Lando. Okay, so now let's just show the paste. Alright, let's just put this as a Lugia Series 10 V2. So this is what we got here. So again, this is the difference here is we're opting for the Incineroar and then the Landorus. Okay, and then in the first version we have the physical Lando, which is not really physical, it has Earth Power, and then we have the Life Orb Entei here. So depends on what you want. I feel like both teams are very, very solid in terms of what you're trying to do and trying to help support Lugia, although we're secretly supporting Sakataka. Right, so yeah, give this one a go, and now let's just show some battles where we use both teams, and then we'll go back and do a little recap. Okay, so now let's take a look at this battle. We're looking at a Groudon team, a pretty good one too, and there's a Hawlucha here. I'm not sure why, but again, this is with the Landorus-I Incineroar version. So I like how Lugia looks here, because Groudon can't really hit it with the Precipice Blades and only really has like a Rock Slide or Heat Crash, and if he goes with the Rock Slide, that's just gonna proc my policy, right? The Stack Attacker, same idea. I mean, yeah, double rock move, but again, it's fine. Landorus-I goes ham here, by the way, because their Aleki can't hit it. Groudon can't really use its Precipice Blades on it. So both Lugia and Lando are coming, but not as a lead. But again, Landorus-I just destroyed this entire team. So he goes with the Rillaboom and Groudon. I'm going to go with Incin and my own Lando. So this is a great turn because we intimidate both the Groudon and the Rillaboom here. He has White Herb, so that was interesting. So I decided to go into Lugia to dodge a P-Blades and just protect my Lando first. Alright, and the Groudon actually just goes for a substitute, which is fine by me, because now I can just set up Calm Minds and then just go for big hitting plays with the Landorus here. But I need to break that sub, so I go with the Earth Power instead. The Rillaboom goes to the knockoff, procs my policy. Alright, and you see how well Lugia takes these hits, and Lugia lives again! Alright, because we're so bulky. Heat Crash comes out, but we live on the Landorus, and now we Sludge Bomb the Rillaboom. So this confirms that this is Assault Vest. So right now, first 3 turns, it's looking pretty good. My policy is activated, I can just recover again, and there's very little that the Groudon or this Rillaboom can do, especially if he's intimidated. So I'm just gonna try and recover again, and switch out Incineroar for another Intimidate. Alright, so there's another Grassy Glide, obviously not gonna do much. We recover, and he decides to just go for another sub. So we're in a really good spot because we're a +3 Lugia, back at full health. We have our Multiscale back, and both of these Mons are intimidated. And if he wants to remove it, he has to switch out from his substitute. So he goes into Instant, gets his own Intimidate. That doesn't matter. And here I made a stupid play. Not that it was dumb. The Aeroblast was correct. But I forgot that the Fake Out doesn't work on Substitute. Yeah, so that was my bad. I forgot that interaction. So we activate the Incineroar Berry, and he goes for the P-Blades. Incin still lives because we have an Intimidate on it, and we get our Berry activated. And now there's not too much that he can do, because now, even though he swaps into Rillaboom, I can just go into my Rillaboom, And he goes for the fake out on our Lugia. Not that that matters. Alright, because now we can just fake out his Rilla. We have the faster fake out. I know we do. And we just Earth Power the instant. Alright, so now that's gone. And now we're just chilling. There is a Regieleki here, but I'm not worried about it because we have a Lando in the back. Alright, so there's a Groudon. I'm not sure why he switched that in because I'm always going to Aeroblast that slot any day of the week. Okay, there's the Volt Switch. Look how well Lugia takes that. There's another Rillaboom. And there's the Aeroblast that was supposed to go in the Rillaboom slot. He gives me the Groudon instead. And there's the Regieleki. Doesn't matter here. I always Grassy Glide that Aleki because Lugia wins the game from here. Alright, a very impressive game from Lugia. Look, Grassy Glide. Again, still not doing enough. And there's the final piece of the cake. Alright, so now let's take a look at another battle. Okay, so Calyrex Shadow Rider. So again, not a great matchup for Lugia. And I would even argue I don't bring it. I think Rillaboom Instant Suicune Lando is the play here. Because I see the Dark Urshifu, I see the Calyrex, I see the Instant. I'm not going to bring Lugia to this matchup. So let's just see how this plays. So I decided to go with my Instant and Suicune lead just to put some pressure against the Calyrex should he lead it. And he goes with Instant and Urshifu. So he has an advantage here. He can always close combat my Instant or Wicked Blow my Suicune. But it looks like this is a free Tailwind for me either way. Okay, so I go into my own Lando not to try and not take a close combat, which is exactly what he goes for. So I'm glad I went into the Lando here and I get my Tailwind up. He goes into Instant here. I Sludge Bomb and Scald. Alright, trying to call a potential switch here. And unfortunately, Suicune can't pick up the KO on the Instant. I was very sad about that. But I think this is still fine. He does fake out the Lando, but I can just Snarl and the Instant goes down. So there's that. But very sad that Suicune was not able to pick up the KO there. So he does Wicked Blow. Again, it doesn't kill. And now we're in a position. Okay, look, Calyrex comes out. He's got one turn of Tailwind. You know, I could go for Glory here and try and Earth Power this slot. I'm just scared that it's Sash. So I may have made the wrong play here. To swap into Instant here, but I feel like the Snarl was gonna outspeed the Calyrex. But now that he clicked Astral Barrage and went before my Suicune, I know that he is in fact Scarf. Alright, so I know he can't protect. So there's the Comfy yet again, and I just Grassy Glide that slot to try and remove the Urshifu. And there's another Astral Barrage again. I know he's Scarf, so the Throw Chop just kills it. Alright, and we get our berry back. So now the game is pretty much over because all he has left is a Comfy and an Urshifu. Alright, and there's not too much that the Comfy can do. So he decides to Floor Healing again. The Sucker Punch is not going to kill the Rillaboom. We get rid of the Comfy, and now we're in a great spot. We just glide the Urshifu. Okay, and again, the Wicked Blow not killing the Lando. We are a bulky Lando set. Alright, and that's how you do it, folks. Always go with the bulky, modest Lando set. Okay, so this is the Entei Life Orb with the physical Intimidate Landorus. So he's got a Sigilyph, he's got a Suicune, so he's got two forms of Tailwind, and then he has Trick Room, I guess, with this Necrozma Dustmane to help out with the... God, what is that horse thing called again? I forget what it's called, because I don't even know what it is anymore. Mudsdale. Alright, so either way, I'm fine. I just bring Lando in the back, and then that should be able to be enough against the Necrozma Dustmane. So this looks like Tailwind and some shenanigans, so I just want to fake out the Sigilyph, and then just go for a Calm Mind here, just to set up and be comfortable. So he goes for his own Tailwind, he goes for the knockoff. Thanks for the policy, by the way, and then we just click Aeroblast and remove the Passimian. Alright, I'm going to U-turn my Rillaboom. I don't want to take a flying type attack, and here comes my Entei. And here's Lele changing the terrain. So I'm still in a pretty good spot here. Because all I need to do is just protect the Entei. I don't want to take a Specs move. And he actually had Hypnosis, which thankfully missed. But now we can just remove the Sigilyph, and there it goes. Alright, so now he has the Necrozma. I'm just going to go into my own Lando and intimidate that Necrozma just to be safe. Goes to the Gleam, does a lot. And unfortunately, he went into the Lugia. It's still killed. But that's why, because he was Life Orb, even though he was intimidated. He's got one turn of Tailwind. I'm going to go back into Entei here. I'm just going to fake out the Lele. Alright. because I can do that. I change the terrain. Goes for the Photon Geyser. That still does so much, even though he's intimidated. I know he has a Life Orb, but again, I have Necrozma on my side. We go with the E-Speed. That does a lot to Lele, and I just Grassy Glide there. I thought he would protect the Necrozma. That's why I went for that. But he's just spamming this move, and I'm fine because, again, I have Lando in the back. So I'm just going to click Sacred Fire here. A Life Orb Sacred Fire. That does so much. And Rillaboom just cleans up with a knockoff. I still had knockoff on this version instead of drum beating. So there's that. So 3 battles. Lugia did well in 2 of them. The other one we didn't need to bring it. So that's how you know the team works. Alright, so folks, again, we got a couple good Lugia squads here. So we've got the first version with the Life Orb Entei and the Rocky Helmet Physical Lando. I think this is a very solid squad. And you got a couple flying pivots for Stack Attacker. You got 3 of the ice weaknesses, but again, it's still more than fine. You're bulky enough. And then in this version, you've got the Incineroar with the special attacking Lando. Again, this one put in so much work. We lived a lot of hits, and then we dealt a lot of damage, right? So I kind of like this version as well. So try one out, see which one you like, and then we'll be back next time with another video. I just noticed my phone rang. Peace out.